Yes, it's 2023 and we've got a brand new James Bond video game. And in this video, I'm going to tell you everything about what it is, what it isn't, and what I think developers Tilting Point have planned for the future. Plus, stick around to the end because I've got a 007.com giveaway that we're going to be announcing at the end of this video. And I promise you're not going to want to miss that. So, dial in those watches. Cypher 007 starts now. Welcome back to the Bond Report. My name is Chris, aka the Bearded Blofeld. If this is your first time here, welcome. I put out weekly content all surrounding the world of 007. So if James Bond is your thing like he is mine, please consider subscribing, and I always appreciate a thumbs up. Now, when I heard that there was going to be a new James Bond mobile video game announced about a month ago, I actually got really excited because we haven't had any news or announcements in quite a few months. And as you may know, I did a full breakdown of the game teaser trailer, so we're going to see where my predictions landed today. Jumping right in, we open up with a new gun barrel animation, and if you don't give this game props on anything else, you've got to appreciate that this game has some serious style, and it just looks so damn good. One of the first things you're going to notice is the lack of blood in the game, but honestly, the lack of blood and quote-unquote killing in Cypher 007, it doesn't really bother me, and it actually falls in line with the story. Speaking of which, let's dive into this all-original story. Starting off, you're on the trail of Spectre at a cabin in the Swiss Alps, but you end up getting captured by Blofeld himself at the end of the first level. Blofeld gasses you, and we see the line from the trailer, "Good of you to come, 007. We've been expecting you." You wake up dazed and confused inside your flat.
Prediction point unlocked.
Yeah, that's new. So you wake up in Bond's flat to Moneypenny warning you to get out of there and that 006, Alec Trevelyan, is on his way to arrest you. Bonus points for anyone who noticed this, but if you actually caught the moment when Trevelyan busts in the door, he actually says this statement. He says, "James Bond, you're under arrest for the act of treason against His Majesty's government." Bonus points for anyone who caught the fact that he actually used His Majesty's government versus Her Majesty's government. Now, to give a brief synopsis of the plot, and some light spoilers are ahead, so you've been warned. Bond has been captured by Spectre and has been brainwashed and turned into the most deadly agent of Spectre the world has ever seen, James Bond. But M explains this later in the game. We learn that Bond has relied on his MI6 training and has blocked off a section of his mind to maintain his sanity and protect his real identity, while his subconscious and his physical body are kind of off doing Spectre's bidding. So essentially, Bond has trapped himself within himself to protect himself. And if you look at the edges of all of the levels, minus the first level of the Swiss Alps, because those levels are fully detailed out. But if you look at all the edges, you're actually going to see there's like a smoky fog, almost like element to all of the edges. And that's kind of a dead indicator this is happening within his mind. M, Q, and Moneypenny are not real, but they are representations of their real counterparts within his mind to help him navigate through his memories and these adventures. All in an attempt to, say it with me, escape the mind trap.
Prediction point unlocked.
Which was mentioned in the trailer as well. That's weird. Okay, let's take a look at what you're going to be using on the missions. When you start inside of Q Lab, you're going to have a couple different options. You can go to the Q table, or you can go over and do next mission. We're going to start off at the Q table where it's marked with like 2 wrenches like an X. This is where you're going to determine the loadout for each mission. Starting off with weapons, your primary is going to be the P62. Now, if you look closely at this basically looks like a modified PPK. It's similar in shape, especially the grip shape, to the Skyfall version of the pistol. However, you actually end up shooting people with these pronged electrical taser kind of things. And it even says a barbed bullet contains a CPU and battery to deliver an electrifying charge. Now, as you move into the game a little further, you will unlock the silenced version of this, the P62S. And you may notice there is a third option there, and that is right, we get to unlock the Moonraker laser pistol. This weapon is just what you want it to be, and I really look forward to upgrading this because it's just so damn cool. But I love the attention to detail here. The wireframe imagery shows all of the little elements, including the fact that they left out the trigger, which we all know and love the fact that there is no trigger to allow room for the space glove fingers to go in the actual film. And I'm going to tell you later why I think this might be a precursor to something they may be hinting at for a future release. Okay, moving into gadgets. The very first one that you get, and I love the play on words here, it's so great, you get the cue ball. This is a distraction tool that you can throw to draw guards away from something or towards an environmental death trap that you have control over. I love to use this in conjunction with other gadgets, and especially pulling Spectre agents out of rooms or into those environmental traps. Next up, you have the smart glasses. Now, I mentioned these in the trailer because they were heavily used in the teaser trailer breakdown, but I thought that these could have possibly been something from The World Is Not Enough, where they had that flashbang element. That is not the case. So, no prediction points on that one this time. But they do offer something cool. As you're moving around the levels, you're going to pick up a couple different things. You're going to pick up intel, you're going to pick up blueprints, you're going to pick up components. All of these things that you find throughout the levels are things that you need to acquire to unlock other features of the game or other items in the game. So the cool thing with the smart glasses is not only does it give you that kind of, Batman sonar kind of look to the level, but if you pay attention, if there's a bunch of intel in one room, it will start unlocking all of them at the same time, saving you time if there are guards surrounding you and you're just trying to get in and get out quickly. Next up, tripwire cufflinks. And now I'm going to talk to some of my GoldenEye fans. So if that's you, this may be something that you love. So if you loved playing with mines in GoldenEye, this gadget is going to be right up your alley. Place them in the pathway of your enemy and drop a cue ball beyond the line and watch the bodies hit the floor.
Let the bodies hit the
It's quite possibly my favorite gadget of all of them, just for the sheer fact that you can use it as a protection. So if you're trying to enter a room, you place this on the doorway of the room, you can go in, start accessing the computer or accessing the intel spots, like the hot spots where you have to pick those up, and it gives you an extra layer of protection behind you where the first guard that comes in, you already know you've got him taken care of with that. That gives you even more time to access those computers and files. The masking pen. Now, I have used this gadget, but I feel like the benefits of having other gadgets in your arsenal, because you can only carry so many at a time. But the other gadgets, I feel like they outweigh this one pretty heavily, just at least for my gameplay style. There is usually adequate cover in most levels, but I could see that this one may be better utilized in the harder, more difficult levels where there's so many more enemies around you. It could be a situation where you use an environmental piece to block one guy looking at you from one side, and you use this to block another enemy from another side or another angle. The stun watch. I found this particularly useful with cameras because it'll knock a camera out for a dedicated period of time so that at least you can get beyond the point and out of danger and possibly take out a bad guy or get to the switch that turns the cameras off. This is like having a second P62S in a sense, because it is pretty quiet. You can stun, agents of Spectre with this, and it puts them in that state to where you can walk up on them and go ahead and lock them into that struggle cuddle and take them down and maybe put them to sleep for a little bit. The lining of your jacket. There's a lot of options clearly that we can unlock, and I'm hoping we're going to see more of those in the update, or there could just be things that I haven't, gone through the game myself with. But I'm hoping that it adds different elements of either like body armor kind of features. Maybe there's like a water suit where you get to breathe longer. So I'm hoping we see features like that worked into the lining element of the game. And now we're on the final panel here of attire. Now this is where it gets really exciting. You start off with the charcoal gray suit from Dr. No, but if you look off to the side there, you can see clearly you've got so many other costumes to unlock, and this is where it gets exciting. The next one up, you've got the safari suit from the man with the golden gun. I love the fact that they're using the actual branded logos and fonts from the films. It even says the year of the film, 1974. Next up, you've got the quilted gillet from For Your Eyes Only. Love this look, 1981. Then we see the tactical outfit from No Time to Die. We've got the ski suit from The World Is Not Enough, 1999. The Cuban shirt from Die Another Day. And finally, the white tuxedo, they're saying from Spectre. I get it. They could release the full gray three-piece suit from Goldfinger later down the road as well. And that, I think, is what they're going to go with, which is why they went the Daniel Craig route on the Spectre white tuxedo. Okay, so you're all kitted out, you've picked out your weapons, you've got your gadgets, you're ready to go. Let's move over to the mission table and see what's next. So up at the top left, you've got modes, you've got story, you've got hard, you've got challenge mode. You're not going to unlock the two later options, hard and challenge, until you completely beat the game on story mode. And this game continues to surprise me because you've got 20 fully flushed out levels on an Apple Arcade game that is free. Now, I know, I say free, but it's free with an Apple subscription. I've mentioned in the past, I have the Apple One subscription. And for me, I'm fully vested into the Apple ecosystem. At this point, for me, this just made sense. With Apple One subscription, you get TV, you get iTunes, you get arcade, you get news, you get additional storage on the cloud. So there's a lot of benefits to it for like $16.95 a month. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to tell you how to spend your money. I'm just letting you know that what you get with what you could spend.
Okay, Chris, I get it, but I mean, how is the gameplay?
Well, to be blunt, shocking. Positively shocking. Never would have thought going into the fourth quarter of 2023 that we were going to get such a fun, well-rounded, and robust video game featuring James Bond. This game packs such a punch and is so fun to play through with loads of replayability. Now, I'm typically kind of a run and gun style player. I don't typically do the stealth missions that much. I'll go in guns a-blazing. And even with ammo being as abundant as it is in the game, the problem you run into is you can't store ammo. You don't get to hold like an extra clip. You fill your gun up on an ammo cache. Once you shoot that clip, you have to find another ammo cache. There's no reload. You don't get to store extra ammo. So that can be kind of the challenge, is you've got to be very selective on when you actually pull that trigger. And there is a fair amount of stealth in this game, and it does pay to be patient and think about how you want to approach each situation. Many levels, they have environmental traps, so you have a choice of whether or not you want to shoot someone or maybe put them into a struggle cuddle like that and just take them down quietly. For me, playing this game with a dedicated controller, like a Bluetooth controller, I use my PlayStation 5 controller. So much easier. The level designs are very unique and well thought out, and there are hidden kind of tunnels scattered throughout various levels that you can find to unlock different components, or maybe find some of those additional blueprints. You're gonna battle 006, you're gonna battle Jaws, you're gonna battle Blofeld, and I love the environmental traps with Blofeld because you actually have the pedal that drops the bridge into the piranha tank, which is beautiful because, I mean, obviously, if I was going to take a nap somewhere, at the bottom of a piranha tank is clearly, how comfortable does that sound? And I love the attention to detail because you're going to walk around in various different levels and you're going to see that they've actually got the Spectre logo branded on all types of boxes or crates. And that's just a fun little Easter egg, I think, for a lot of us. They could have gone with a more like contemporary modern Spectre logo, which they kind of use in the background as well, which I thought was interesting. But nothing, and I do mean nothing, will prepare you for the absolute sheer joy that is hopping in the cockpit of little Nelly and flying around Spectre Island taking out random Spectre helicopters and ground missiles. She spits fire out the back. She's got machine guns out the front. She's got burst missiles for ground attacks. And my personal favorite, she's got heat-seeking missiles that'll pretty much take out anything you have to deal with. But getting into full-fledged dogfights on Spectre Island is pure fan service at its finest. Tilting Point nailed these levels, and they are beautiful. They are so much fun. I think I go back and play these levels, I don't want to say the most, but I definitely hit them pretty frequently because they're so much fun. From the modeling to the handling to the speed, the little Nelly levels, they're a grand slam. You mix all this together, you shake it up, you throw it on your phone, a device that you can take with you anywhere, and guys, Cypher 007 is a full-blown win. It's a touchdown, it's a grand slam, it's a hat trick, it's everything we needed in something you can pick up and play and put down in 5 minutes, or you can sit down at the TV or the iPad and dedicate some serious time in on this and really start diving in and unlocking all that they've got to offer here. Now, I'm going to release a spoiler here, so if you don't want spoilers for the game, maybe skip ahead a few seconds on this, okay? Will Bond escape the mine trap? Will he be able to clear his name? And what levels or films will future chapters unlock? And I'm dropping my prediction now, because at the very end, the final screen, and spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear this, skip ahead, we see Stromberg's fortress. It's that hand-drawn image from Ken Adams. It's a beautiful little teaser, too. So I gotta say, I think The Spy Who Loved Me is gonna be one of the future chapters, but they may tie in additional films or features as well.
But Bearded Blofeld, what other films would they use?
My other prediction, Moonraker. We've already got the gun. They've already designed the spacesuit from Yolt, which would be easy for them to just rebrand it a little bit, change the color. Now you've got the spacesuit from Moonraker. They could tie in something with Bird 1 maybe, also the Moonraker rocket. There's definitely some things that they could connect the dots here on. Either way, we've got a really fun mobile game that's expansive, it's robust, it's so much fun. Guys, just play this game. You won't be disappointed. Okay, it's giveaway time. So I've been talking with game developer Tilting Point now for a little while, and while they weren't able to get clearance from some of the developers and directors on some of my tougher questions about the game, they did want me to hook you up with some swag. We've got 3 prize packs put together here that I think you're gonna like. Starting off with prize pack number 3. This prize pack includes the Asphalt Blue 007 logo tee, as well as the black heat-changing gun barrel coffee mug. Prize pack number 2. This prize pack includes your choice of a t-shirt from the Bond Report merch store and a black Spectre logo hat. And for the grand prize winner, you're going to get the Asphalt Blue 007 tee, your choice of a t-shirt from the Bond Report's merch store. You're going to get the coffee mug as well and the Spectre hat as well. So how can you win? Super easy. Leave a comment below, and I just need 2 things. First, I need your shirt size, because I kind of need to know that if I'm going to send you a shirt. Second, of all the unlockable costumes in the game that you didn't see, what costume do you want to see in a future release? Get creative, come up with a costume that Bond has worn. You can include images if you want, you can be as descriptive as you want, you can give me timestamps in the movie if that's easier to tell me which costume you want to see unlocked for future elements of this game. The most creative costume design I hear, I'm going to pick the winners. I'm also going to list all of the official rules down in the description below. Make sure you read those. There are some exclusions that will apply. The winner will be announced via YouTube Live. That's going to be on Sunday, October 22nd at 8 p.m. So check back here to find out if you've won and how to contact me. Good luck to everyone. I look forward to reading all of your comments. And remember, there is no limit to how many times you can enter. For every comment, that's an entry. So if you have 5 suggestions, drop 5 comments. Make sure you include your shirt size in each comment as well. I'm going to read all of them. So get creative, have some fun with this. If you've enjoyed this video, please drop a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, Merry Christmas 007.